We would like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we meet today and pay our respects to the elders past, present and emerging. G'day, I'm Shell.
Kia ora, I'm Lou.
And welcome to Xena Warrior Nutballs. Woo, it's a side quest.
Yes, today we have a special guest side quest. We're stepping outside our usual interviews, right? So normally we're aiming to interview 30 of the cast and crew to celebrate 30 years of Xena Warrior Princess. But this week we're bringing you something totally different.
You've been travelling, haven't you, Lou?
Yes! I got such an exciting chance to go and talk with Stephanie Gibson, who's the curator of New Zealand Histories and Cultures from Te Papa, New Zealand's National Museum in Wellington.
Wow, that's really, really amazing. And what did you get to do, Lou? Far out.
Well, what's so amazing about this, right, is that Te Papa holds Xena and Gabrielle's costumes, the ones that Lucy and Renee actually wore, the originals, and they have them in their collection. I got to go and hang out with Stephanie and see them all and touch them a little bit, just a little bit, a tiny bit.
So jealous. Goodness. This is such a cool interview.
Yeah, it was really exciting and overwhelming, like being in that sort of setting, right? Like this like academic-y kind of like museum-y vibe is very like it's exciting.
So exciting. Okay, Lou, so for our hardcore nutballs,
yes,
what did you see? What series did we have in front of us? What were you looking at?
So I was looking at Xena's costume, the one that she wears throughout the entire time, the one designed by Barbara Darragh and then reshaped and reworked by Ngila Dickson. So it's like the brown leather with the bronze breastplate over top.
Yeah.
And then for Gabrielle, I got to see season 6 outfit designed by Jane Holland.
And so you got to see the weapons as well and some of the props created by Rob Gillies.
Yes, totally. Him and his whole team. If you've listened to the interview before this, that is with Rob Gillies. But one really cool thing that I wanted to make sure that everyone knew was that these are not actually on display. These items are behind the scenes. So Stephanie, let me go behind the scenes of Te Papa.
Wow. I'd be scared I would have like tripped over and landed on it all and broken everything. Wow, that must have been so mind-blowing, man.
So cool. And so Te Papa, it's an enormous museum, right? Like it's the National Museum. It's got art, it's natural history, it's New Zealand histories, it's Matauranga Māori, so it's like Māori knowledge, Pacific cultures. It's an incredible organisation. So we're so lucky to have had a chance to go behind the scenes there.
This is a big bloody deal for you as well, being a Kiwi Xenite. This is massive.
This is so cool. It's just so special.
Oh, wow.
Look, my younger brother did come with me to this. He lives in Wellington, and you may be able to hear his not dissimilar to my laugh kind of giggle in the background occasionally. And you will also hear the click of his... It is very sweet. You'll also hear the click of his camera because he's taking some really amazing photos, which will be up on our socials, so you guys can all see exactly what we're talking about as we're going through the interview.
But it added to the like vibe of it, hearing... So amazing.
One flag I'm just going to say, in New Zealand, we call abalone power chow. So when you're hearing us say power, that's what we're meaning.
Yeah, so hey, Xenites, especially for our cosplayers and our collectors out there, I think you guys are really, really going to enjoy this. So put on your gloves.
I've got mine on, chow.
Here we go.
Goodness, I'm so excited to be here today at Te Papa. I'm here with Stephanie.
Kia ora everyone, my name is Stephanie Gibson and I'm a history curator here at Te Papa, the National Museum of New Zealand in Wellington in Aotearoa.
Kia ora, Stephanie. Are you able to tell us a little bit about the space that we're in at the moment?
So we're actually in a working store, we call it the packing room, and this is where objects are transited through for various museum business. And because there is so many pieces in the Xena and Gabrielle outfits, that we've got the biggest table we can find behind, and we've laid everything out. So this is the best space.
It's an enormous space, and there's so much. I can see that there's so much stuff. There's quite a lot of suspense building here for me because there's this big white cloth kind of over the top. Is that to protect it?
Well, it's called Tyvek, and it protects it from light and from dust, and it's acid-free. So all the materials we use to store objects safely is always acid-free.
Okay.
Basically, it's like a hospital. You're kind of in intensive care where we look after objects.
Right.
It's the same kind of thing.
Cool. I love that. And I love that the Xena costumes are getting this intensive care. All right. I'm ready. Let's get into it.
Let's have a reveal.
Okay.
So it's a mixture of Xena and Gabrielle's costumes.
Wow. Okay. So the showstoppers have been revealed. This is what we're here for, Xena. It's Xena's leathers. So this costume of Xena, this was worn by Lucy Lawless.
According to the information from Pacific Renaissance Pictures, who gave us
This?
they said this was one of the outfits that she wore.
That Lucy Lawless wore.
But, we're trusting them for that.
Of course.
They never said this was worn, this was a stunt double one.
So I can see you're like kind of actually handling the leathers right now.
I know. We've got one of Xena's signature outfits. I'm just sort of getting it into order. Yes. It's the leather, sort of her everyday leather action outfit.
Yes, it's like the leather skivvies, I think us fans sometimes describe it as. So Xena, she'll take off her breastplate when she goes swimming or when she's sharpening her sword by the fire at night time. It kind of actually looks like it's two pieces. Is that correct?
Yeah, so got a boned bodice.
Yes.
And it's actually attached to the skirt.
Yes.
And then I'm just going to flip it over. It's actually very sturdy, so it's easier to handle.
Yes.
And then it's laced at the back. So the bodice is laced, the top of the skirt is laced. It's like a yoke, so you can get a really nice slim fit.
There is a word for the leather flaps, which are a defensive garment for the ancient Roman and Greek warriors that make up her skirt.
Get the weight.
Yes. I think it's pronounced like paturages.
In terms of Lucy Lawless, it's a bit short. She probably didn't enjoy wearing such a short skirt. But the weighted leather strips probably helped keep it down a wee bit as she was flying around and riding her horse.
That's true.
But the hilarious thing is that underneath, she's wearing this very light, shimmery, see-through gold lurex underskirt.
I did not know that, Stephanie. Like, I did not have any clue that that was underneath there. That's blowing my mind. It's kind of like a gold, black, metallic-y but see-through fabric that is underneath the leather, like the leather skirt.
It's a bit of Hollywood glamour, and it sort of reminds you, this is costuming. This is fantasy costuming. This is not a Greek goddess from 2000 BC. This is Hollywood calling here.
It is very much, and it speaks to, look, a part of this show that a lot of us love, right, is the campiness of it. And it speaks to me deeply about that as well, like the suspending of reality and all of that.
I love that flourish, because it's a very well made costume. I think people need to go back and look at the TV series and see if you can see a little bit of glimmer, a little bit of golden glimmer under the main outfit. Because there's a lot of work in this outfit. It's really well crafted, really well put together. It's riveted together. There's a lot of movement in it. It will flow beautifully across the body as Lucy Lawless is running around. So there's a lot of detailing, which you might not have captured on, you might not have seen on the TV show.
No. So there's that famous V at the bottom, I guess is this the navel? What's part of the human body? Is this the belly button?
It's the belly button
The belly button. Famous kind of like V breastplate, like bronze-like thing. It's fixed on with what looks like
fishing wire.
Fishing wire,
I
like
know.
clear fishing wire.
So they've gone to all this trouble to create this beautiful garment,
piece.
and they've actually used fishing wire to make sure things stay attached.
Yes.
Rather than glue or other method.
Yes.
So I think that's quite hilarious. So obviously the fishing wire was not going to show up on camera.
No, absolutely not. And especially not when they're not using digital. They're not using HD. They're using film. So it is very interesting. I would have never guessed that. No.
So I love that mix of approaches.
Yes.
You've got fine crafting, you've got riveting, you've got fishing wire, you've got lurex, you've got leather, you've got really good leather work. So you've got a little bit of everything, but it sort of creates a really amazing look on screen.
It really does. Like, the silhouette of Xena is iconic. She is a hero that has her own silhouette. She can walk down a road in dark and you can identify her without any other kind of means. And this is that costume that's showing that. That's so cool.
Correct. And the really nice thing too is, often women are portrayed quite large-breasted.
Yes.
Often in Hollywood, but No, she's just got an average size breast cup there.
Yeah.
It's not all padded out.
It's not crazy padded out, no.
It's just like she had a good, strong, regular woman's body.
Yes, she did. That was a huge part of what we love, yeah.
It's a big thing, eh?
Yeah.
And you've got lacing at the back, so she could alter the lacing of the bodice and the lacing of the yoke of the skirt to fit her body.
Yes.
Apparently it was not
That's
entirely
good.
comfortable to wear all day.
I can imagine from the look
can
of
imagine.
it, especially after like a big lunch or something.
After- yeah.
Going back to set in this, I'm like, oh no.
But this is a signature costume, so there must have been at least a dozen of these made for her stunt doubles, for being wet.
True,
when
Zoe
she got
Bell,
wet.
all of those. Yes.
So this is just one of those signature costumes.
That's so amazing. So next up we have a breastplate. Should we talk about it?
So the breastplate's amazing because you've got this beautifully beaten copper work here.
Yes.
Quite incredible. And, copper work has a very fine tradition, dates back hundreds of years.
Yes.
It's really trying to evoke ancient Greek and Roman sort of look and feel. And there's actually quite a lot of work in this.
Who does Te Papa have as who's the creators of these?
Well, Robert Gillies was in charge of production of all the sort of the weapons and the extra pieces. So he would have been in charge of the makers. He would have designed some of it, and people. It probably was collabs with a team of makers.
Xena's original costume, from my understanding, so she spun off from Hercules, and the first one she wore in the Hercules series was designed by Barbara Darragh, a New Zealander. Is that correct?
Well,
is that the one you guys, name you have for this?
Yes, well, we were told that Barbara Darragh came up with the original design, and then Ngila Dickson worked on it.
Reworked it. Right.
And Ngila Dickson then went on to Lord of the Rings fame. So,
That's so cool. So we're seeing right here, we're kind of seeing a collaboration between two incredible female designers in New Zealand. Barbara Darragh, who's done the original, the design of the outfit, and then Ngila Dickson has built on that to create the iconic one we know from the series. That's so, wow, how mind-blowing. And so the breastplate, the bronze work, something that always struck me, especially as a New Zealander, is like the kind of emotive, almost koru-like patterns you start seeing through some of her, and especially her gauntlets, like her arm gauntlets.
That is kind of overt, I think, that sort of bringing together of Māori motifs. And using actual aspects of New Zealand, like paua shell. And some of the finer detailings on the objects. And that was, intentional, to be from this place where the series was being made, even though this is a big Hollywood show and it was seen internationally. There are these lovely New Zealand flourishes of the koru and paua shell.
Absolutely. I ask you what koru kind of symbolises or means?
The koru, it's like an unfurl, in a practical sense, it's the unfurling frond of a fern. And ferns are a very important plant to Aotearoa. I think it also symbolises new life. And the promise and potential. That's my reading on it.
And I love that that's your reading of it. My reading, pulling from that, is that Xena's storyline, right, is a huge redemption storyline. She's a villain seeking out new life and trying to make amends with a bunch of terrible things she did in her past. So it's kind of cool in a way, whether that was intentional or not by the designers, for us to be able to pull those lines through now, 30 years on. Maybe not.
Question, I like it.
Oh, Stephanie, my eyes have just landed on her famous sword, though.
You have Xena's sword.
It's super heavy.
Would I be able to hold it? Is that too crazy?
Yeah, I'll bring it forward. It's
feel
actually seriously heavy, and you could actually really hurt somebody.
Oh, it's like actually metal.
Yeah.
It's cold.
I know.
It's like freezing cold. So this sword, she often actually has it holstered on her back. She has it from season 1 through season 6. They don't change it. It's the same thing the whole way through. And you guys have it. That's incredible. You're right, the power.
Yeah, the power shell's lovely. It's lovely wee detail. Again, probably audiences didn't notice.
But
it's a lovely anchoring of the show to its environment where it's filmed.
Exactly. And right on the handle as well.
On the hilt.
And the hilt.
So it's really lovely because it feels hand forged. So again, this would have been hand forged by a New Zealand artisan.
100%.
So cool.
And her sword holster too. And that also has power on it. It's beautiful.
It's a really great sort of integrated look and feel, isn't it?
It is. It is. Can I just say, I'm loving the Xena whip because, do you know why? Because Xena actually gives her whip away and doesn't have it in the end. So I love it that Te Papa has it. It's actually,
good to hear.
The whip of Xena is actually owned by a character called Minya, who's played by a New Zealander called Alison Moore, who's like a comedy character. And Gabrielle trades it for a frying pan to despite Xena. I know, after a lover's tiff.
What a great story. I didn't know that.
I love it. That's so cool. So that's actually Xena's whip. That's so good. That's also got power shell in it.
See, I don't. Then again, I don't know how many multiples were made of the accessories.
Probably not many.
Probably not many.
Probably not many.
No.
Especially not the whip. I don't think there would be many of those.
No.
Not at all, because we don't really see it after season, I think it's season 2, we don't really see it. She
Ah.
gives it away, yeah.
Okay.
So I'd say there'd be minimal.
And I do love how things
knee.
are practical, like her knee pads.
Knee
They've
pad.
actually got like a sports knee pad inside.
Wow.
And then they've just sort of spray painted a little bit of paint to make it
Yes.
look like it's a metal, give it sort of a metallic feel.
Yes. And then they've got that same like bronze as
the
on the
riveted.
skirt, the riveted bronze, riveting. That's beautiful. Okay, cool. So we've got some knee
You've
pads
got your
too.
gauntlets.
We've got our gauntlets, our
They're
arm
lovely. They've got a lot of copper work on them. So, I mean, quite complicated. You know, you need to have somebody help you dress.
Yes. So those, it looks like she can just expand it, slip on.
It looks like she could do it, but it's pretty stiff. It might not have been so stiff, 30 years ago.
Yes, and then it does need a wee bit of a tie at the end, doesn't it? Yes.
And then the beautiful breastplate, shoulder plate.
Interesting. And the bronze on the shoulder pads is also fishing wired on.
Yes.
It's all fishing wired
Yep.
on as well.
Oh, that copper works, fishing wire on.
Yep.
So I don't know if they must have just felt that that was the most secure method or the easiest method.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of riveting going on.
Yes.
But yeah.
Okay, now we have to talk about what's up next. The chakram. Look at it glistening.
Yeah, so this is a pretty brutal object and
here
quite
we go.
dangerous. Like, I don't know, is this a classical frisbee?
Yes. So you've got, this is the last one, the chakram of balance. So she's got 2 and this is the second one. They made different versions of this. This is one that's all together. It looks like it's the one that she would have been on her hip in the photo. Like
Yeah.
it looks like the real deal, yeah.
So she's probably got quite a lot of weight on her at certain times
Lucy,
when she's running around.
That's very true. And the stunties. An extra, like, with the sword and that. And then the actual leathers themselves are quite heavy.
And the copper work. So, I mean, we don't have plastic replicas. This is all made from real materials. I think that's really important to envisage, that they've tried to make it as real as possible.
They have.
And as handmade as possible.
You can even see on the edges where it's obviously had some dings, some drops, you know, like from the
Would have
when they're
been
working
hard
with it.
life.
It would have, and they would have like been using it all day in, day out, 12 hours a day on a set for a year or so, like a couple of years. So that's very impressive that it's like held up.
It's great, though. It's great to have a bit of wear and tear because it makes you believe in the characters so much more, doesn't it?
That is very true. Shall we wrap up Xena by looking at her boots?
So Xena boots are always fun because they're so big. And they're big because
They're enormous. Look at those feet.
inside them is actually a pair of running shoes.
Oh,
So that she can actually do her own stunts as much as possible.
I've heard this before. So this
So
is
you can just
true.
see the tongue of the sneakers in
I
there.
can. Am I allowed to say the brand?
Yes, you can see the brand. You can read that. It starts with A.
Yeah, is it Avla?
I
might look it up.
I'm not familiar with the brand. They obviously felt that they couldn't make a boot that was safe enough for stunt work.
Yes.
So they've decided to compromise by putting a sneaker inside the costume.
And that's obviously going to give her, like, because we've heard from a couple of people when they first see Lucy Lawless in her kind of super suit coming on set, how just enormously tall she feels. Like,
Yeah,
how
she looks
just,
like a big human, doesn't she?
Feels like a superhero because of her presence, and you can see the kind of the extra couple of inches she's getting here from the shoes inside the shoes. But I love that they are also, she's not wearing high heels, she's not
No.
wearing anything stupid, and then they're
No.
trying to like look after the actual actor as well.
Yeah.
They look beautifully made. Oh, okay, cool.
And then you get Gabrielle, who's quite a different character completely with the outfit that we have. We only have one of Gabrielle's outfits. She had many over the series.
She
lifetime,
did.
didn't she?
She did. Yes, you're absolutely right. She changed a lot. And so you've got season 6 where it's kind of almost like it's burnt orange and it's got like a green accents. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
And then it's kind of like a bra, booster bra
Yep.
with
It's definitely a booster bra. So yeah. So she's got a more what I would call feminine, maybe a sort of a more classic sort of feminine look.
Yes.
Showing more flesh.
Yes.
It's even a shorter skirt than Xena.
Yes.
She's showing her midriff.
Yes.
Xena's not showing her midriff, Gabrielle is. Definitely a more sort of Western, late 20th century
Yes.
ideal of what a young woman should look like, I would say. It's being channeled a bit more here.
Yes.
But they've given her modesty shorts, thank goodness.
I love these wee shorts. They're like little like booty shorts or something, like little orange ones. So I assume when she's kicking and she's doing stuff, it's just like, because Renee O'Connor, famously, who played Gabrielle, she was, the stunt people say she was as good as them and she was doing a lot of her own in the end.
that's
So
nice.
it's cool that she's got her own shorts because obviously she was doing a lot of the work. And then she's got a beautiful belt that goes over top of it.
Yeah, so a beautiful belt. I just think they must have found a lot of joy in making these accessories.
Yes.
I think as a craftsperson, it would have been so much fun.
They're stunning. I love them. That's
So well made.
It's very beautiful. Yeah, that belt's very iconic. It's so cute.
These are quite like the sai, actually.
Wow, so Stephanie's now holding the sai. Is it okay for me to
Yes.
hold it? Okay,
So
cool.
it's complete, the sai is completely metal. It looks like they've evoked a leather grip
Yes.
through, it looks like plaited metal,
It does look
painted a bit black.
Yes.
So they obviously decided just to go with metal and not to give it a leather grip.
Leather grip. That would have been hard on Renee O'Connor's hands, doing those stunts, not
Maybe.
having straight onto metal.
I think we've got the staff here. Better just double check.
Oh, okay.
This one has its own wrapping.
Is this Gabrielle staff?
Oh yeah, look at this. This is amazing. Look at all the texture on this object. You've got wood, hand-carved wood, you've got rope, twine, you've got actual cloth.
Actual cloth.
You've got sort of a fur element. So it's
Wow.
a very textured staff.
It's extremely textured. Is it actually wood, the physical staff
Yes.
itself? It's actually wood.
It's a
I've
wooden,
plain-
got a real hand-hewn feel to it. Almost like whittled. Like imagine a very tall staff that's been whittled. There's leather, there's fur, there's twine, there's a very patterned textile cloth in the middle.
Yes.
Got a lot of personality.
I can't place exactly when this is. She graduates from her staff and eventually gets up to her size. This one, I honestly don't know exactly what season this is from. It's probably from season 2 or 3, maybe even 4. But it's beautiful.
Yeah, it
it's
is,
so
isn't it?
pretty.
I mean, just that level of detail. Everything you look at has a really high level of detail, which probably wasn't actually entirely necessary.
Yes.
But I think people took such pride in their work.
Yes.
Maybe they were new to the television industry on this scale, and people just went for gold. They just did their best work.
They did. That's so cool. Given it all.
We've got a saddle bag.
And we've got a saddle. No way. So this would have been on Argo. This would
Ah,
have been on Tilly. Tilly is the name of the horse that played Argo.
isn't it amazing?
Yeah, wow.
This is a really sturdy, heavy object, and it's made from fur and leather and metal, power shell embellishment, bone toggle. Quite incredible.
And so it's 2 bags, and there's kind of like an adjoining 2 buckles that would take it over the back of Argo, I guess.
And it smells.
It's
It's got a really good leather,
a
pungent
really
leather
good
smell.
abundant leathery smell.
So you can definitely see where the Lord of the Rings aesthetic comes from.
You
know,
do.
This handmade from natural product, evoking a far distant time.
Yes, yeah, where they all started. So Stephanie, you said so Renaissance Pictures gifted them,
Yeah,
donated
so
these?
Pacific Renaissance Pictures rang us up in 2001 when the series ended,
Yeah.
and asked Papa if we would like a signature well, they call both of these signature costumes.
Yes.
We said, oh yes, that'd be great, because the series had made such a big impact.
Yes,
I mean, it was so obvious that the impact was both local and global.
Yes.
So we said, yes, that'd be wonderful, thank you so much. A very generous offer. So it all happened quite fast.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess on that, so Pacific Renaissance called you guys, you could see that it had such a big, wide reaching from local to global. My question is, you still have it though, even 30 years on. What continues to make these costumes worthy of being part of the National Museum of New Zealand's collection?
It's a good question. I mean, we only collect what we think is important.
Yeah.
And then that significance stays in place.
Yes.
So we still feel the same way.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
We don't collect things that we think that only have transitory value. We
Yes.
only collect things that we think have permanent value.
Have like
so
lasting impact.
yeah, and so Xena, Warrior Princess, had proven its lasting significance in New Zealand television and film history.
Yeah.
It had proven it.
Yeah.
It was incredibly popular worldwide.
Yeah.
It had spawned a whole new, amazing era of television making that was channeled into Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
These were all established facts
Yes.
in 2001.
That's true.
So it had earned its place
Yeah.
in television history. And then the role modelling and the beautiful examples of female friendship and strength.
Yes.
These were significant moments
Yeah.
in international television history.
Yes.
Let alone New Zealand television history. So they'd made their mark in terms of portrayal of women on screen, portrayal of strong women,
Yes.
portrayal of friendship and love.
Yeah.
A great example of creative industry and artisanal work
Yeah.
that had poured into it from a New Zealand perspective that was then admired internationally. So we felt that it had ticked many boxes
Yes.
at that point.
Absolutely.
So therefore it actually still does.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
100%.
And we now have hindsight that, of course, a lot of these artists went on to work on Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
And do great work throughout their careers. And the objects have stood the test of time. They're still in great condition. And people people still love these objects and the stories they represent, and people still visit us. We are still exhibiting them around the country. For example, these are going down to Christchurch next year to the Tees Classical Museum.
Oh, cool.
For the second time. So there's still great interest in them. We still have visiting scholars, visiting fans, people like yourself. You'd be amazed how many people email us to ask us, is Xena on display?
That's amazing. So empowering to hear, because she's a feminist icon, and to have it be a New Zealander, and it be New Zealanders that created this, and have New Zealand little things like koru and power within her, is just, it's all so special, isn't it? So it's so cool to see her here at Te Papa.
It's really special. Because, you know, we could have been offered really substandard material that was really worn out, it was all glue gunned and stapled. I mean, that could have happened.
Yeah, of course.
We might have been interested, but, you know, we could see the actual artistry, the craft making is amazing. These are exemplars of type.
Wow.
You know, they've stood the test of time as great examples of fantasy costume making.
Yeah. Is there any part of it that Te Papa recognise any of it as being in relation to like her being a queer icon at all?
We actually have a lot of interest from the rainbow communities. They do see and appreciate and value it from a queer perspective. Yeah. And that's been wonderful too.
So
I love that. I think there's such a growing need and a thirst for rainbow stories to be surfaced in collections.
100%.
Often they're hidden, but they're there.
Yes.
So having Xena and Gabrielle gives us a chance to let that perspective flourish as well.
100%. Well, a question that came to mind when I first was wondering was when Renaissance Pictures approached you. There's part of me, and I want to speak this knowing that Gabrielle's one of my favourite characters of all time, is that they offered you Xena's costume for the show Xena, Warrior Princess. To me, I'm just like, what was the rationale of taking this, and I'm putting some quotation marks for all the Xenites, but taking the sidekick, you know?
Oh, she's more than a sidekick.
I know, of course she is.
She's equal to me.
She's equal. She's 100% equal. And is that how you guys seen Te Papa seen that straight from the outgo?
Totally. It was the pair. It was never one or the other.
That's so cool to know.
Because, I mean, we wanted to be able to tell that this is a genuine love story.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
That's so special that you guys saw that. My last question to you, Stephanie, is that, so these currently, I feel so special that you've gotten them out and that we're in the back section of Te Papa and I've gotten this really cool insight. But if they were out on displays and a visitor was to interact with them that had never heard of the show Xena, Warrior Princess, what do you as a curator kind of want your visitors to feel or take away from seeing Xena's costume for the first time?
I mean, I think there's several strands.
Yeah.
So I'd like people to get excited about the New Zealand television film industry history
100%.
and that this is a key element of that history.
Yes.
And that we're very proud of it.
Yes.
And that there's so many creative talents in behind this.
Yes.
And this is what it takes to do really top-notch costuming.
Yes.
I'd also want people to appreciate the stories that these objects embody, and that is strong, iconic feminist characters.
Yes.
And that these are vital to the stories we tell about ourselves, even if it's fantasy stories. These are still very important stories to tell ourselves, that women can participate in these types of stories. And there's also that lovely sort of through line from, you know, deep in the classical period that we've inherited in the Western world of Greek and Roman mythology. Yeah. You know, we're part of these storylines and we can shape these storylines to suit ourselves as well with, you know, the koru and the power shell and women taking on maybe traditionally masculine roles. We can be part of shifting the narrative a wee bit.
We can be.
Because this is part of world inheritance.
100%. This has been one of my favourite conversations ever, one of my favourite mornings ever. Thank you so much for your time today.
Oh, thank you for loving them. It means a lot to us that people come in and share them and get to experience them, because part of their value is how people feel about them. And so it's really important to us.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wow, Lou. What did that feel like?
Like, just joy.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Like, genuinely, it was just like one of the most special, cool conversations. And Stephanie is just like, what an incredible mind to be able to, like, it's just so cool to meet these people that are doing such important work as well in Aotearoa.
Yeah.
Taking
It's
care of these
huge.
important objects. Yeah.
Hang on, take it back. Let's take this back, right?
Yeah.
You're walking into that room and you've got everything under a white sheet.
Yes.
What did you feel then? Did you think, I'm in front of history, I'm in front of New Zealand? Did you feel very, like, proud as a New Zealander?
Absolutely.
Or was it more like a Xenite just freaking the fuck out?
The first initial part of me was just like, hyperactive, like just glee, joy, like complete unbridled excitement of being like, I'm in the presence of this, like these really cool objects.
Far out, man.
This hero of mine, you know?
Yeah.
Like of this absolute hero that I've looked up to so much and that I admire and that I have so much care and love for. And I know in my heart of hearts how important these objects are, but to see them in that context in Te Papa, one of the most important places that holds history in my country, like it just is, it was really special, man.
So then you're in front of these costumes, right? That's a big deal. What's the first thing you noticed about the Xena costume? What was the first thing you went, oh, wow, I didn't expect that?
I think, honestly, it was the golden underlay of the skirt.
Yep. And it was put together with fishing line. What the fuck? That's amazing.
Yeah. I guess that takes you out of the illusion. Like when you see that and when you realize that, you're really like, oh, this is a costume. Like this is a costume.
Yep.
But at the same time, you can understand the nature of that costume and the fact that it is doing stunts and it is doing, like, you know, it needs to be flexible. It needs to be able to be quite dynamic.
Yes. This is one of my most favourite episodes yet. How amazing.
So special, hey.
Okay, so this was a big day for you, Lou. Like, you travelled to Wellington, you went to the most famous New Zealand museum, and we got to do a radio interview. Little old us got to go on RNZ.
Yes, that's so true. Yes, we were lucky enough to be featured at the end of an interview that RNZ had with Rob Tappert to kind of celebrate Xena's history in Aotearoa. There's links up on our socials.
Yeah, it's very awesome. All right, Xenaites, you can find us at xenawarriornutballs.com. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, and YouTube. And be sure to rate us 5 stars so these stories can keep continuing on into the world of the internet. Battle on, Xenaites!
Ka kite anō. We'll see you again soon. I was absolutely devastated that you weren't able to come along.
Really? Because we both know what would have happened. I would have walked out with something.
I think I was more worried about you, like, sniffing Xena's costume or something.